On any given school day, a typical high schooler's phone is lighting up with hundreds of notifications. It is a constant stream of texts, alerts, and social media updates, pulling their attention away from the whiteboard and down into their hands. When you add up all those micro-interruptions, the total loss is staggering. Research indicates students are losing up to 90 minutes of critical learning time every single day just staring at their screens. This chart shows exactly what happens when you scale those 90 minutes across the entire national student population. We are looking at an annual deficit of $137 billion in lost instructional time and wasted educational resources. The immediate reaction from school districts everywhere has been to try and forcefully separate the student from the phone. The strategy is simple: implement strict policies and confiscate the devices at the door. To enforce this, administrators are spending thousands of dollars on locked magnetic pouches and hallway storage caddies. They are essentially applying a physical 19th century lockbox to solve a deeply ingrained 21st century behavioral habit. But a physical barrier doesn't remove the craving. It turns the classroom into a daily battleground over compliance, hiding the device without ever addressing why students are so distracted in the first place. To see how these physical bans actually play out, we can look at Florida, which became the first state to mandate statewide cell phone restrictions in public schools. This line graph maps suspension rates before and after the ban. Instead of boosting focus, data reveals a sharp vertical spike in disciplinary actions to force compliance. The trend line showed this strict enforcement disproportionately targeted and suspended Black students. The policy rolled out rapidly without giving students a grace period to adjust their habits. Because the ban required absolute immediate perfection, the result was a structural failure that punished kids for struggling with addictive technology. While researchers did eventually track some minor improvements in test scores by the second year, those gains came at the cost of immense collateral damage to thousands of students' disciplinary records. Relying entirely on confiscation and punishment turns schools into adversarial environments. It forces teachers to act as wardens, policing devices rather than educating students. Beyond the disciplinary issues, locking phones inside magnetic pouches creates an entirely new, deeply concerning vulnerability inside the school building. These pouches sever a student's communication lifeline. Parents strongly oppose these bans because, in the event of an active emergency, they demand absolute certainty that their child can dial 911 or reach out for help. The desperation to maintain phone-free classrooms has even led some schools to consider using signal jammers. However, blocking cellular networks is a severe violation of federal communications law, precisely because it impedes emergency broadcast capabilities. Then there is the educational blind spot. By simply locking the phone away, schools remove the exact tools students need to practice and build the cognitive muscle of self-control. Once these students graduate and enter college or the workforce, their smartphones will not be stored in locked pouches. They will have full access, and they will need the discipline to manage it. Physical bans force an impossible choice: compromise student safety to maintain order, or endure total disruption. In the process, the educational system abandons its duty to teach digital literacy. Resolving this crisis requires moving away from hardware confiscation entirely. The alternative is managing the device's capabilities directly through smart software, like a platform called FocusGate. FocusGate operates at the operating system level. When a teacher initiates a session, distracting applications are instantly grayed out. Crucially, the native dialer for 911 and emergency contacts remains brightly illuminated and 100% functional at all times. This software approach allows teachers to adapt the phone to the lesson. With dynamic profiles, an instructor can instantly transition a classroom from a strict lecture mode into a collaboration mode that permits access to specific research tools. The platform also integrates an ethical AI teaching assistant. Instead of giving direct answers, the AI provides contextual hints to guide students through problem solving. To reinforce good habits, the system tracks learning time, rewarding students with points for focus streaks. This actively trains the adolescent brain to value and sustain its attention. By replacing physical restrictions with intelligent software management, we eliminate the daily battle over confiscation. The smartphone remains on the desk, fairly managed, allowing educators to actively prepare students for a distraction-heavy digital future.